Welcome back, Rockstars. More Scape and Run Parasites. Today we're going to be working on making the entire base made out of obsidian, and we're going to make a quick trap out of quicksand right after that. So let's get into it. Alright, Rockstars, so there's a lot I want to get working on today. So I really want to actually get a bunch of the base covered in cobblestone at this point. We're going to work our way in and out like we've been doing, and I'm going to continue doing that. I did get a lot of quartz for just EMC value overall, so we just got over 1 million. Outside of that, I want to work on the idea that we came up with last episode, which is quicksand on the outskirts of our base, which might be a big help. And one more thing is I think we figured out how to get compressed iron to make sentry guns from that one mod we couldn't do it before, because we had to get a pressure chamber which could only be made out of pressured iron, but pressured iron could only be obtained from that. There's an explosion recipe for crafting. So throw some input material on the ground, set off explosion next to it. Average material loss is 20%. So if we can just get a couple, and if it has an EMC value, we are good, which I doubt it does considering it's modded, but not a big deal. Alright, so let's make up some TNT real quick. We should only need a piece or two, and then that way we can EMC it, and we're gonna try this explosion technique. Alright, so first let's get a little bit away from the base here so we're not near it when we try this explosions out. I think we're just gonna come over to the old base section, and that should work for us. Don't see any parasites, so I think we're good to go ahead and give this a shot to see how this works. So I think we're just gonna throw a 4 iron down here with a piece of TNT right here, and we put a single pressure plate, and let's see how this works. I have no idea what this is gonna do, but hopefully we can actually get some compressed iron out of it. Okay, and we got, we got compressed iron, and we only lost 1 piece. Okay, that absolutely is fantastic. All right, I'm actually gonna go back and grab a more, so I have 2 or so stacks worth of this. Okay, so I don't know if the TNT amount and the amount of resources has a correlation anyway, but we're just gonna put a couple blocks here, and I have 2 and basically a half stack. So we're just gonna throw down here. Hopefully this works out for us. So we're gonna throw a couple pressure plates down, and let's see how this goes. Let's go, let's go, let's go. There we go. Okay, coolios. Okay, note to self, that was a really bad idea. Okay, we only need 1 explosion because I didn't think about the other explosions exploding the material. So we're gonna have to do that all over again. Okay, let's try this again before we get too cold. 1 piece of TNT with all this iron. We didn't pick any of it up. Good. Okay, let's see how that comes out. And beautiful. We have nearly 2 stacks. Okay, so I guess 20% loss, bigger value loss if we use more material. So that makes sense. All right, if you want to put the compressed iron away for now that we know that works, I want to go ahead and get the obsidian done, because right now I feel that's more importance, because things like the endermen aren't going to deal with the turrets at all. They're going to completely ignore them. Wow, obsidian is a lot cheaper than I really thought it was. Only 4k per stack. All right, so we're going to start. Oh, these are slabs and not blocks, aren't they? But if they sit at the lower point, right? No, that wouldn't work. I think these need to stay slabs, sadly. I don't think I can fix that. But we can start replacing this inner wall, and luckily barbed wire and the trapdoors won't fall, so we can just do this. And I might end up placing the glowstone and putting some other light source on the outside instead. I mean, it is just 1 piece of a corner, I guess, but still. The ladders, though, those are going to be a big sucky part that we're going to have to fix. So we'll do those last and get everything else replaced first. Okay, I used more obsidian than I thought it was going to, but I think coming out with this, I changed these to stone brick slabs for a bit of a different look, and I really like having this around here, so now we have a bit more of an open area to stand outside instead of just that for a bit of like height advantage. Alright, so now I need to start with changing all of these floating platforms, because flying creatures can destroy blocks, obviously, which is one of the reasons everything's obsidian anyway, so I don't want them to destroy my only ways in and out. Plus the outside wall and all of this. So this is going to take a long time, and I don't know how much EMC I'm gonna have left, but it's gonna be worth it. Okay, Rockstar, so the base is completely finished with obsidian. We are very secure at this point. I'm very happy. It looks a lot better than I thought it was. The cobblestone was so disgusting because there was just so much of it, and I thought the obsidian would come out the same way. But between the stone, brick laying, the trapdoors, barbed wire, and whatnot, it makes it look a lot better. So one more thing I want to do before we wrap up today is I want to get quicksand, because we discovered that last time, and I think it could be really good. Similar to the tar from Last Days of Humanity, it worked well on mobs and people. I'm hoping that the quicksand will do the same. And because we collected it last time and it was EMCable, we have it right here. So we're gonna grab a bunch of this real quick, grab ourselves a diamond cheval, and we're gonna get some blue terracotta so we have placement blocks. So placements blocks are going to be the things for us to get in and out, because as you can see here, we fall into quicksand, but we can also escape it. So if we just go ahead and mine up right here, and we can get right through it. So I want to make it 2 deep at most, or at least at the smallest amount, and then I want to go probably 2 or 3 wide. It's super cheap in EMC, so I'm not worried about it. What the blocks are for are specifically so we have blocks that we can get onto. So these blocks right here, we're going to turn these into quicksand, the 2 deep right here, and then this way we can get into it from 1 block, and then we can still make this jump, and we can get over it, because we can jump at 3 wide no matter what, because 3 block jump is not that hard. As long as it's not a 4 block jump, we are good to go. We might have to extend this out a little bit just so we have a little more room to run up in the future in case we're trying to rush in and out, but outside of that, it shouldn't be a big deal. So at this point, we're just going to mine out a lot of sand and pretty much get as many of these blocks placed down as possible, and hopefully we can just get as much done as possible before we get attacked at any time. It's been a couple episodes since we had a big attack from another like Enderman or whatever, and I'm very worried about those, so we need to get rid of this for the blocks to actually work overall. So I don't know what they're going to come at us with, because each day and each time we have to sleep, and each time they kill us or we kill them, each other gets either stronger or weaker, and you can never know what's going to happen. Okay, so we're basically done with everything that's mining the sand at this point, and this is what I've come up with for my actual way in and out. So I'm going to have a bunch of slabs or blocks placed so I can get up without running so hard and then not have to climb anything. This is a 4 block jump, but I have ladders for me, and I have a ladder on the other side of this, so I can get up and down really easily, absolutely no matter what. And with momentum, it's almost guaranteed to make it without the ladder. Since this is 4 blocks, it should be big enough for most of the big creatures, and these are the only spots right in front of the doors they're going to have these ladder spots, so I'm not going to have to worry about things getting stuck between them. At this point, for the most, we really just need to get all of this quicksand down as fast as possible. And then I have another idea. I have a lot of ideas for just like, oh, let's put this wall, now we're going to put another wall after that. So I thought, okay, can we do with like cactus before, you know, because eventually they would just get naturally taken over by the plants and whatnot in like stage 3, but it would be good for early stages. But then we would have to create like a system that gets from the cactus to the inside. Plus, what if we wanted to create a whole nother wall system and expand the base so we had an even farther into outer defense, you know? So there's a whole bunch of things that we could do technically. But I'm gonna fill this in pretty much as fast as possible and make sure that this all works, knowing as long as we copy this exactly like we did with that system over there, it will work out perfectly for us. Plus, it drops them through the sand and it's closer to the lava pit anyways overall. Alright, well, we have the outline done, and it's taken a lot more quicksand than I ever thought. Luckily, it's super cheap. I didn't really need slabs in anywhere but the one location over here, which was good for the most part. Saves me resources in EMC overall. I really hope this works. Otherwise, I've put a lot of time into absolutely nothing. I don't see why this wouldn't work though, but let's go ahead and let's get a whole lot more quicksand. There we go. Wow, we've gone through nearly half the EMC, and wow. Even for all the cheap stuff, like the iron bars were way more expensive, but between the obsidian and the sand, it's just really expensive. Well, we officially have quicksand surrounding our entire base. I don't think that I don't know. I don't think this is gonna work as well as I hope it will, but I think it's gonna be good. As long as it works for most of the creatures, that's the problem, and not the problem, the solution, and that's the whole point. Well, at this point, I think that's a great place to end off today's episode. So if you guys did enjoy, leave a like, comment, subscribe, let me know what else we should be adding to our base's defenses. I'll see you all next time, Rockstars. Peace.